Yo, SC here, CLG Gamer, and as you can see, I'm going to stop being too anonymous, but AOR is back. We are back in Australia, as always, with the first round of the AOR season, and I'm not going to go into the grid or anything. People have their own opinions on what's happened with it, but I'm happy with this league. It's still very fast, and we're just going to get straight into the action here today. As you can see in the background, this is our first run of the session. Did a 19-0. That was a fairly decent, fairly conservative, but fairly decent banker. I was quite happy with that. Puts us into P5 at the moment. This in the background, as you can see, this is an entire lap. So this was our best, unfortunately, of the session, only on our second run. But we did nail turn one. In practice, I was fairly inconsistent. I think an 18.4, 18.5, 18.6 was sort of the region. I sort of wanted to be on the lower end of that. But yeah, as you can see, the first sector spin, it's been decent for a second run, but it's been fairly conservative. I think we did a 26.1 in the first, so it's nothing special, but it's not awful. This corner here, this is one of the trickiest corners I found on the circuit, but we did actually nail that quite well. We lost a little bit of time compared to our first run, but we are just about up. It was all about, for me, getting in the second run and building on it from there. But we do gain a bit of time through the chicane. It was very close to being invalid, but luckily it wasn't. We were about 10.5 up now, coming into the last sector. A little bit loose on the curb there, into fifth gear. We turned slightly early, I think. Losing slight bit of time, but coming around the second to last corner now, we're still a 10.5 up. Coming around the last now, 2 tenths up. So we did gain quite a bit of time. We're going to come across the line, and it's going to be an 18.8, which again, you know, it wasn't awful for a second run, but unfortunately, as I said before, that was our best time we did of the session, which is really unfortunate. You can see in the background there, the best time at the moment is an 18.6 from Blizzard. And I knew that was easily possible to do. As we come on to our final run now, come through the first corner, and we did take a little bit too much curb on the inside and lost about a 10.5. I was going to continue until I got to this breaking point and completely messed it up. So I thought, you know what, I've got enough time to do one more run, so I'll back off and I'll go again, and hopefully we can get another lap in, because there's so much time on the table. It should be so easy to gain the time. But anyway, here we go then. It's the final run of the session. See what we can do. Coming into turn one, braking after the black box. We hit the grass on the outside, and that is it. That is the lap over already, which is really annoying, and it seems to keep happening that when it comes to the actual qualifying, it seems to become a bit of a mess. You can see we have gained a bit of time. Other than, you know, I can't remember what we're at the first one, like 2.5 tenths down, so we're only a 10.5 down now, so we gained like a 10.5, but yeah, coming through this corner, we completely too much curve, messed it up, and that's 3 tenths down, and there was no coming back from that, so that's unfortunate. P7 it is on the grid. Liam taking pole position with an 18.4, so I was thinking, you know, that's actually possible, and I was really hoping to move forward in the race, and that was the aim. The strategy is soft and hard, so I was going to try and pit really, really early was my aim for this race. Pitting about lap 4, I think I was going to try and do a crazy undercut and see where we can go from there. But we're loading up to the race now. We'll go for the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5 lights come on now. And if you look behind us, as the lights go out, Suso and Yoan get crazy starts on the back, and we've already dropped down to 8th place, make that 9th position as we go into turn 1 now. Just trying to hold it on the outside, trying to be careful not to get any damage. We do actually hold it in front of Yoan. Michelle gets a really bad, a bit of contact or something. Going through turn 1 as we try and make a move now around the outside of Oscar Moreno, but nothing comes of it, and we have to settle down into P7. So we've not gained anything actually. We've gained a position from Michelle spinning, but we've also lost one to Suso. So now it's time to settle in. It's very, very hard to overtake at Australia. So my aim was for this stint to just save as much ERS as I possibly could, and just sit behind really. And that was pretty much what happened. As in a minute, I'm pretty sure we'll cut onto I think the end of lap 2. You may see the lap times we do as we cross the line. It was fairly easy to stick with this train. I think Surface was at the front of it, the front 2, absolutely flying away. You see Liam a 22.8, which is an insane time for the start of the actual thing. Obviously you got the formation lap, so the tyres are slightly worn. We're a second off that, stuck in this chain. And we're coming to the end of lap 4 now. I was thinking, it's a bit early to pit, but I'm thinking we've got 99% ERS. We can dump it all on the in that. But as you can see, we're coming into the pit lane now, and we've got that glitch where it's stopped us accelerating for some reason in the pit lane. So that's definitely cost us a bit of time. So yeah, the undercut's going to be even harder now. But I still had some faith. We have 100% battery, so we can just gun the whole thing on this outlap and see what happens. So yeah, important lap now. Trying to get the exit of the pit lane nicely. As soon as we get into the straight, into overtake mode, and let's see how much time we can gain on the 3 in front. Ideally, I wanted to get in front of all 3 of them really, but that's going to be quite difficult as we run slightly deep into turn 3, I think that is. As we come down around the kink into the last 6 now, we'll put the overtake on, and that is the end of our race. Virtual safety car is deployed, but that is, and that's where the thing about mentality, I think, comes into this and comes into league racing in general. I think the mentality is probably more important than the pace. I don't think I was driving particularly well the qualifying or the race, and it always seems to be the thing when it comes to the actual session. I seem to mess it up, so I think that is a key thing I really want to work on now, is the mentality coming into the races and during the races as well. Making silly mistakes like that is not something you want to do, but also it's not something you should be doing at all. Like, that's not something you do when you're practicing or anything. I know it's quite easy to do, obviously put the overtake mode on, but yeah, that is a key issue and something we'll work on moving forward. But typical, there's no safety cars or anything, so we finished last basically. Drove around at the back the whole race. I didn't have a penalty until the last lap, so I was sort of hopeful if there was a safety car that I could gain a few positions, but no, that wasn't to be. I was pretty annoyed after this race, can't lie. Domi takes the win, so congratulations to him. But yeah, that will be it for the first race. Hopefully the second race in Bahrain will be slightly better. I can't say I'm particularly strong at Bahrain, but we'll have to see what happens. Yeah, a mentality, I think, is the key going forward, and we shall see what happens then. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.